City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia, where tonight the Richmond Kickers have an opportunity to play spoilers. Kickers against the Ottawa Fury. Hi, everybody. John Emmett along with Mike Neville on a breezy, overcast night. The Kickers facing playoff elimination, but realistically, that was decided last month. Tonight, they have an opportunity to mess it up for somebody else. Ottawa Fury sits ninth, 2 points out of a playoff spot, but they've played a couple more games than Nashville. So, Mike, the visiting team desperately needs the 3 points.
Desperately needs the 3 points, as you mentioned, John, and it's not going to be easy for the Kickers because the Kickers are 0-3 so far this season against Ottawa, and the Kickers are coming off a 2-1 loss on the road against Charlotte a week ago. They fell behind 2-0. Raul Gonzalez's third goal of the season for the Richmond, the only tally the Kickers could get. Meanwhile, Ottawa with a wild 4-3 win on the road at Toronto, so a big challenge for the homestanding Kickers tonight.
And for Ottawa, Carl Howarth kind of makes the offense go. Veteran who plays up on the right, scored a big goal off a set piece in the win last week over Toronto. Did the same thing to the Kickers earlier this year. A veteran of a Canadian national team play, has also had some time with the Montreal Impact and is the most experienced member of the Fury, as well as their team captain. They'll need him to kind of set the tempo tonight.
Well, you saw the statistics, only 2 goals, but that doesn't tell the whole story about, as you mentioned, John, his leadership capability with Ottawa. And again, he is going to be one guy that Ottawa is going to rely on, and the Kickers have to keep a close watch on, is number 9 right there, Howarth. And again, he will be a key for Ottawa tonight against the Kickers.
Meanwhile, for Richmond, Raul Gonzalez is suddenly beginning to break out offensively. He's been steady all year playing up on the right, but now doing damage offensively. Goals in each of the Kickers' last 2 games. Dramatic goal in Indy to help the Kickers get a surprise road draw. He also tallied last week in the loss at Charlotte and is beginning to give the other people up front a little more help offensively.
And John, you saw from the statistics, 35 shots he's had this season, so he's getting some opportunities. 3 goals, as you mentioned, that was the only goal in that loss to Charlotte, 2-1. So again, you mentioned the Kickers have a hard time putting the ball in the back of the net. They're going to need Gonzalez to come through once again tonight and some other people because they've only scored, I believe, 24 goals all season long. So again, the Kickers are hoping that the offense will show up on a breezy night here at City Stadium.
These two teams met in August. Ottawa with a 2-0 win despite Richmond dominating possession. It's been a familiar story for the Kickers under David Bulow. So tonight the Kickers tangle with the Ottawa Fury, with the Fury playoff hopes perhaps hanging in the balance. And we'll back with the starters next on ESPN+.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches, and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
John Emmett, Mike Neville back at City Stadium in Richmond, where tonight the Richmond Kickers tangle with the Ottawa Fury. Second meeting of the season, 4th all-time. Kickers have yet to beat the Fury, who squeezed out a 1-0 win here last April that beat the Kickers 2-0 in a regular season meeting in August in Ottawa. Kickers will start tonight with Brandon Barnes in goal, making his first professional appearance as Trevor Spangenberg goes to the bench. Then the back 4, you see Evan Lee getting a start as one of the inside backs. And Brandon Eaton going to play an outside back, a new role for him. He's been a holding midfielder. And Brian Shriver up top in a 4-1-4-1. Kickers will really try to build out of the back. The Ottawa Fury welcoming back Maxime Crepeau, who has done the majority of their goalkeeping this season. He was away on international duty with the Canadian national side last week. Nana Atacora at the inside back, their most experienced defender. Christian Portilla, Steven Dos Santos both can do some damage from the midfield. Tony Taylor will be up top in the middle. He is their leading scorer this season with 5. And Carl Howarth, their veteran captain, the most experienced Fury. They'll play a very compact 4-3-3. They'll try to absorb pressure. They gave Toronto 75% of the ball in the first half last Saturday. David Bulow, looking for his second home win as Kickers head coach, was really pleased. We visited yesterday with the Kickers' performance at Charlotte last week. Everything except the result, and it was an all too familiar story in the last month. A lot of possession, not a lot of shots, a calamity in the back at the exact wrong moment, and they paid the price. So now Brandon Barnes gets his first ever pro start. He's played in the de facto 4th division with the Laredo Heat, split his college career between Bradley and Seton Hall. Kickers are in the red, and they start with the ball. Scott Thompson. Greg Bain playing a little further up than we've seen a lot from him this season. Oscar Umar plays that holding midfield role.
And John, with the wind conditions, it's been kind of gusty at times. It'll be interesting to see how these goalkeepers handle high balls into the box and so forth, because sometimes it's pretty still, but boy, that wind does gust, as we've seen with some of the wrappers flying around from the concession stand. 77
degrees at game time as Imura plays for Gonzalez. Richmond restart coming as we are in the opening minute, no score. Wind somewhere between 10 and 20 miles an hour with some occasional big gusts as Imura unable to keep that ball in play.
Fortunately, not quite as bad as what the weather forecasters were predicting. We did have some rain earlier. We've got it cleared up, but now we got some clouds back, so there is a threat of some more showers maybe developing later on. But hopefully we'll stay dry and have a good one here at City Stadium.
Kickers got a little break and a second crack at that throw-in, courtesy of our central referee tonight, Mr. Thomas Snyder. Thompson unable to keep that ball in play as Manello was closing down.
And I'm sure Coach Bulow wants a better start. And of course, we mentioned on the last Saturday when the Kickers dropped that 2-1 decision on the road, fell behind 2-0. Very tough hole to come out of when you're down 2-0. So hopefully a better start tonight in front of the home folks.
Howarth with the restart. Roberts, the lone Canadian in the Richmond starting 11, and a former member of the Fury, broke it up.
And a little contact.
A little contact as Taylor and Milan Roberts came together. Taylor is the only American in the Ottawa lineup.
Isn't that weird how that works, huh?
And the free kick went Richmond's way. Second minute, scoreless. Oscar Umar hasn't played a ton since the coaching change. Bame, the VCU product.
And John, besides the weather, they also, when you have a new goalkeeper, first start for Barnes, the communication with the back line is going to be very important tonight for the Kickers, I believe.
Bame, wide ball for Gonzalez. Aggressive service in is recovered by Imura. Now Gonzalez. That was blocked by Atacora.
That was a good little combination there between those two that almost resulted in a great opportunity. Unfortunately, it was blocked on a fine defensive play by the Fury.
Early shot for Richmond. That's a good sign. Shriver unable to handle that ball. Portilla got a piece, but Umar recovers. Now Udai Imura. Brandon Eaton. Gonzalez now. Milan Roberts creeping up.
Well, John, in the pregame, you hit it on the head. The Kickers had a lot of possession in an earlier meeting with Ottawa, and it's happening again here early, isn't it?
Here's Gonzalez on the left. Now Shriver. Mayer Jaguar got ahead to that ball, but it's won back by Umar. And here's Brandon Eaton. Now Imura.
Kickers are getting a corner kick, first one of the night.
Jaguar again getting a piece to break it up. He was the captain of the Canadian under-20 Nationals last year.
Good job of denying that breakout from Ottawa, and then a beautiful cross here that's going to lead to a tremendous opportunity for the Kickers.
Scott Thompson will strike the corner. Imura. Thompson. And Crepeau gets a relaxed first touch.
Good aggressive play by the goalkeeper coming off his line to snare that one in midair.
He has some Major League Soccer experience between the Cup and League play. Was in 7 games with the Montreal Impact last season. Ottawa is an Impact affiliate.
Saw the Wind take that punt a moment ago, or that kick that was taken and well past midfield.
4.5 minutes into, the Kickers have had virtually all of the possession. Here's Greg Bame. Now Umar. Nice touch from Eaton.
Did a nice job of settling that down.
Umar again. Bame.
Good step up that time.
Mayor Jaguar trying to get the counter started, but Umar gets in the way. Now Brian Schreiber playing a little whiter tonight.
Wearing that captain's band.
Kickers leading scorer. Here's Evan Lee getting a touch. And now Umar. Almost a back three when the Kickers are attacking, and Umar drops in a kind of a sweeper roll. Thompson, a little heavy for Gonzalez and Schreiber.
I would think Coach Velo is happy, though, with the way the Kickers are possessing, and they've creating a little nervousness around the goal area for Ottawa. Or for, Ottawa, excuse me.
This has been a pretty typical Kickers performance early over the course of the last month. Lots of possession.
See the frustration there from Schreiber. It was a good idea, just couldn't finish it.
Crepeau putting it back in play, and the wind may have been a little bit of a factor there. Eaton with the restart. Imura. The Fury was hollering for a handball, and they got the call.
John, Ottawa is looking to try to take back-to-back victories for the first time since July, so they're not used to having success on consecutive games.
They were goalless in 4 straight prior to the win last Thursday.
That was probably a shock that they erupted for 4 goals from the coaching staff, I'm sure.
That was a night where if you're a diseased gambler in Vegas, you would have been more than likely betting the under and would have been sleeping in your car. Here's Eaton. That's broken up by Eddie Edward.
That's good read
Chris
by
Manella. Ottawa trying to build out of the back. Their game has primarily been counters off absorbing pressure.
Good skill right there.
Playing forward for Taylor and draw a foul in the process.
Great skill right there.
Steven Dos Santos drawing the foul.
You mentioned John Dos Santos, one guy that the Kickers want to keep an eye on. He's scored 4 times this season for the Fury. So he's going to be marked, I'm sure, pretty tightly by the Kickers.
He's from Cape Verde. Here's Atakora.
Over the top.
Yeah, a speculative ball for Taylor that was headed away by Thompson, and it winds up a Richmond throw. Ninth minute, no score. Neither team has had a great chance as of yet. Kickers again playing patiently out of the back. Evan Lee. Here's Thompson. Got around Manella, now Schreiber. With a high pressure there from Taylor.
And again, the Kickers doing a nice job of working the short passing game.
There's Matthew Bolduc. Now Eaton. Umar. Greg Bame.
Again, good patience until that last pass.
Portilla finding Reed. Now Taylor as Reed went down. Overlapping run from Howarth. And his service winds up an own goal. Ottawa strikes first as Milan Roberts failed to clear.
Just unlucky there for the Kickers. Howarth, we talked about him in the pregame, and he's the leader, and he did that beautiful overlap, and his cross, unfortunately for the Kickers, it's an own goal.
In the 10th minute.
Boy, the heady play by Howarth on the overlap, huh, John? Look at that. And then the cross, and just unlucky.
And that has been the story of the last 6 weeks of the Kickers season right there.
Well, another slow start for the Kickers as they fall behind early here. As I mentioned in their game a week ago in that loss on the road at Charlotte, they fell behind 2-0. Now it's 1-0, so let's see how Richmond responds, being down.
Brian Shriver. Evan Lee pushing up. Eaton.
Kickers again maintaining that short game. Just very unlucky on that goal.
Here's Brian Shriver. Hounded by Manella.
Looks like they worked a goal kick out of it.
Ottawa restart coming here.
John, when you have the struggles that the Kickers have had this season, it's kind of a snowball effect. How can, like I say, they need to, I would imagine, not quickly, but they would need to get an equalizer, I think. You saw some of the shoulders slump a little bit, and it's like you said, it's been that way for pretty much the entire season for the Kickers.
Now Red Army making noise. They can bring some energy.
Yep.
Diamura.
It's a giveaway.
Yeah, giveaway and an opportunity here for Reed. Here's Howarth. Now
Beautiful
Taylor.
touch.
Yep. Taylor against Roberts.
Good composure by Roberts there. Didn't panic.
Now the Kickers trying to contend with high pressure from Gagnon Laparé. Murrah the back pass for Roberts. And now Brandon Barnes.
He was getting some pressure from the Fury.
You know, they haven't seen any tape on Barnes because there is none.
Right.
They've seen tape on the Kickers trying to build out of the back with goalkeeper passes, and at times it has not worked particularly well. Atacora. Christian Portilla.
I'll tell you, Atacora is a big back in that back for the Fury. He's going to be tough to get around. Looks like a very physical player for the Fury.
Another guy with extensive Major League Soccer experience, Canadian national team experience. Gagnon Laparé with the header. Bolduc helped win that one back. Here's Greg Bain.
They're trying to draw a foul, but the center referee had nothing to do with that.
Scott Thompson. Kickers down 1-0, own goal in the 10th minute. Evan Lee.
Boy, did a nice job of squeezing that pass through.
In traffic for Bolduc. Now Imura. Imura flag came up. Apparently they had Bolduc offside, and nobody's very happy about it. The assistant referees, Ben Pilgrim, JT Alaconis tonight. And they're getting a chewing from Matthew Bolduc.
You can see his dismay and curious about that call.
Red Army took it rather well.
Nice move.
There's Bolduc. Yeah, he's offside.
Yep.
Wasn't involved in the play as the recipient of a pass or touching the ball, but clearly in that position, he's influencing the defense.
Exactly.
So I think you got to give that one to the assistant referee. Approaching the quarter-hour mark as Maxime Crepeau gets set to put the ball back in play. Ottawa Fury really needs this one. They can move into the 8th spot tonight, but Nashville has 2 games in hand. Oscar Umar. Schreiber.
That's a good, yeah.
Gonzalez. He was closed down by Dos Santos. And it's an Ottawa restart coming. Now, the University of Memphis product has done damage as of late. Scott Thompson, UVA product, had some time with the New York Red Bulls, Orlando City.
And John, historically, September's not been a good month for the Fury. Just 8-9-3 in the month of September, so they're hoping to turn that around tonight.
And Manella wound up inadvertently playing the ball with his hand. Richmond free kick coming here. Oscar Umar. Brandon Eaton, the VCU product. Gonzalez kind of moving around a little bit. Back on the right side where he's a little more familiar.
Oh, good
Nice job by Scott Thompson to keep that ball in play. And now Uday Amura has a little space. Amura on the 1-2 with Thompson. Now Schreiber. He has a go, and
that was a good build-up by the Kickers. And you can see the frustration from Schreiber as he belted that one wide.
Wasn't able to turn the trunk on that one. He was pretty well closed down by Christian Portilla.
Yeah, I thought maybe that might have touched Portilla, but it didn't. Obviously, you got a great angle there from our camera crew that clearly it was a goal kick like they called.
Yeah, in real time thought there may be a corner coming.
Oh boy.
Lan Roberts having another adventure with the head, and Barnes able to come off his line and restore order.
Wind gusting a little bit here from our vantage point.
Umar trying to get it going quickly for Bame, and now here's Eaton. Gonzalez. Umar. Now Milan Roberts. Thompson.
Kickers seem to be having some success, John, on the left side here.
Here's Schreiber. And a little space. And an opportunity for Bame after Adekora got a piece of the ball in the box.
Unlucky there because Adekora put that right back to Bame, and he had a clear shot on goal, but unfortunately sent it into the cheap seats. Good ball here by Schreiber, right there, squeeze that through.
And that was well played by Adekora to keep that away from Gonzalez in a really dangerous spot. Crepeau puts it back into play. Headed along by Gagnon Lapare. Here's Dos Santos. Rare moment of Ottawa possession. Dos Santos closed down by Bame, but Fury throw coming here.
The Ottawa player got ahead on that. Despite.
Here's Taylor. Thompson trying to defend.
Ooh. Boy, Taylor made something out of nothing there, and it created a opportunity.
Dos Santos had the chance with the header. A goal kick coming here.
Very nifty move here, Taylor. Actually, Thompson played that pretty well, but he was still able to squeeze off the cross.
Now Milan Roberts as the wind kicks up a bit here. Oscar Umar, Evan Lee. Lee making just his second start of the season tonight. Here's Thompson. 6 changes in this Richmond lineup from last Saturday. As Murrah goes down, and he drew a foul from Christian Portilla.
That's going to give the Kickers a great opportunity just outside the 18-yard area.
This is Brian Shriver country right here. Murrah does a good job drawing fouls. Portilla got there clearly late. See Shriver and Thompson. Shriver will almost certainly be the one striking this. He's drilled a couple home this season.
See if he can equalize this contest here with this opportunity.
20th minute. Ottawa has enjoyed a lead for the last 10 since a own goal off a Howarth cross. Brian Shriver.
Oh, just a little bit too far upstairs. That just sailed over the crossbar.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit SelectSportsAmerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50.
See Shriver trying to bend that over the wall and just couldn't bring it down.
Crepeau will put it back into play. That was headed forward. Taylor for Dos Santos. Dos Santos in a physical matchup against Thompson. Now Manella.
Now Ottawa showing off their possession game a little bit here.
Rare moment of possession is trying to find Reed, and that winds up a throw. Threatening skies, but no rain at game time. Actually a pretty comfortable night, absent the occasional game-changing breeze. Here's Adekora. Broken up by Thompson, but he left it for a throw while struggling against Tony Taylor. Howarth will put it back into play. Dos Santos, Bame defending. Now Roberts against Dos Santos. And Ottawa wins a throw.
Oh boy, looks like this is going to be a, oh, it is going to be a throw as you mentioned.
Howarth, born in England, but came to North America. Played college soccer at Niagara. Thompson heads it out. Shriver battling with Howarth. Now Portilla. Manella. Thompson clipped that free, and Bame trying to get the counter started. Good high pressure here. Manella deflected the ball. Thompson keeps it alive. Umar heading along for Gonzalez. Now Imura chasing the ball with Mayer Jaguar.
Pretty well defended in the back end there by the Kickers. Thompson did a nice job, and along with others. I think we got a foul there.
Yeah, Taylor was entangled with the Kickers, and Richmond gets the restart with Ryan Shriver. Oscar Umar. Gonzalez. Milan Roberts. Now Thompson. Shriver. Broken up by Atakora. Bame trying to restart the attack. Shriver again. Portilla wins that ball. And here comes Taylor.
He's been active all night.
Layout for Gagnon LaParade. Edward. Gagnon LaParade. Strong tackle by Umar. Evan Lee against high pressure. And Barnes makes the simple play. Mayor Jaguar heading forward. He keeps that ball in play for Evan Lee. Now back through Barnes. 25th minute, 1-0 Ottawa. Fury scoring own goal is a diving attempt at a clearance by Milan Roberts. Wound up in the Richmond net. Mayor Jaguar, the optimistic ball forward. Barnes with distribution for Brandon Eaton.
After an early surge by the Kickers with possession and so forth, it's kind of settled down where both teams are now just about even as far as the possession game goes. That's a good ball for Shriver, but cleared away.
Well defended by Steven Dos Santos, but a corner conceded.
Well, in their first corner, they went with the short corner, and they do it again.
Shriver for Imura.
Ooh!
Back post ball trying to find Milan Roberts. Crepeau wasn't very happy about that.
No, was not.
He thought that might have been more crisply defended, apparently.
Kind of an innocent play, wasn't it, John? It just looked like there was nothing going to happen. All of a sudden, the ball just popped across and almost.
Roberts did kind of sneak in there.
Yes, he did.
27th minute, still 1-0 in favor of the Fury in a game they badly need to win. Brandon Eaton for Richmond. Gonzalez for Bame.
Well, despite the weather, you see the home crowd side of things. Not a bad turnout tonight.
Nikola Popovich is the first-year head coach of the Fury, a well-traveled career. He has coached in 8 countries. Amongst his coaching experience, Benfica's reserve team.
He's got the passport and everything ready, doesn't he?
Well, he may need to keep the luggage packed. There's an article in the Ottawa Citizen earlier this week that you know, the owner was kind of put on the spot. What about the coach? Well, he's under contract for next year, and we review everything in the offseason.
Not exactly a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, that's not the same as he's my guy.
That's right. That's right.
That's my ride or die coach right there. That's.
Of course, sometimes when they give you the stamp of approval, that the next thing they do is they let you walk out the door.
Stamp to the backside on the way out.
Exactly.
And the Fury on the outside looking into the playoff chase right now. Milan Roberts, center backs pushing up. Look at Roberts.
It's a nifty move.
Thompson's ball in, cleared by Atakora. One back by Roberts. And Howarth clears, but only as far as Roberts.
Strong couple of minutes there for Roberts. He went over the back and unfortunately knocked it out of play, but he did a nice job of keeping possession for Richmond before that.
Kickers really pushing up. 29th minute. Richmond down a goal. Kickers' last win came over Penn FC. Lee kind of stunned Gonzalez, but Eaton, nice touch there for Shriver, back for Eaton. Crepeau had the answer.
Good sharp shot there, and Crepeau was perfectly positioned, but a good strong shot. Bodes well, hopefully, for the remainder of this half for the Kickers.
A little bit of jump in that last possession.
Yep.
Some Physical defending there from Oscar Umar.
Nice little touch there. Beautiful pass, and then lining up that shot. And good, strong shot.
Eaton has not scored in his brief pro career. Another kicker who hasn't played much this season. This is just his 6th pro start.
He was bidding for that first goal, no doubt.
Ottawa with considerably more experienced lineup on the field tonight. They have half dozen players with more than 100 pro games. Kickers have 2. Lee against Dos Santos. Now Reed. And he draws a foul.
Much to the chagrin of the kickers.
Adonijah Reed out of Brampton, Ontario, on loan from FC Dallas. Most of the MLS connection with this Ottawa side comes courtesy of the Montreal Impact. Reed, an outlier.
John Reed is one. Oh, nice job by Barnes to grab that
was
one.
Challenged on the Portilla restart.
But Reed with 4 goals, so again, he is one of those players Ottawa has that is very dangerous. He can put it in the back of the net.
Scored the game winner last week coming off the bench late in the second half against Toronto, and then scoring a 79th minute goal to allow Ottawa to escape after they'd opened up a 2-0 lead. Well played by Taylor from Manila, but Murrah got in the way. Crepeau there to clean up.
You're seeing the wind affect some of these balls up in the air. Barnes did a great job on that last one by climbing the ladder, and that was a little tricky ball to handle.
And Barnes way off his line to deal with the ball from Dos Santos. Now Richmond with a throw. Half an hour in, kickers down a goal. Greg Bame. Shriver. Murrah making a good run. And that
snuck
was
back to behind there.
Well interrupted by Mayer Jaguar.
Jaguar's had a strong opening half for Ottawa.
One of the talented youngsters. He's just 20. And his Montreal Impact property.
These players seem to get younger and younger all the time.
Well, you should see some of the MLS reserve sides we've had come in here. They got to be careful about the movies on the bus. I'm not sure all those New York guys have their driver's licenses. USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, highlights around the league 24/7. Follow at USL on Twitter. Here's Scott Thompson. Bame trying to play a little 1-2, but Howarth there to send it out. And all of a sudden it looks like Captain Kangaroo. I dated myself there, but it's raining balls. And we'll just keep doing it till we get it right. Richmond kickers throw in, take 3.
And I knew what you were talking about with Captain Kangaroo. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Here's Matthew Bolduc. Bolduc showing a little physicality. Murrah in traffic.
Wow.
Mayer Jaguar got a piece of that to give Ottawa some momentary breathing room. Bame trying to make it tense again. Here's Umar.
Great effort by Murrah there to create some nervousness in the Ottawa goal area.
Evan Lee. Back for Oscar Umar. Roberts wide for Thompson. Poor touch, but got away with it. Now Shriver, and he has space. Shriver!
Oh, boy. Richmond unlucky there. Couldn't get a touch on it. And it skimmed all the way through.
Reed able to flip it clear, but only as far as Evan Lee. Now Roberts out for Reed. Oscar Umar. Roberts begging for the ball. Here he comes.
He certainly made his intentions known, didn't he?
I'd like the ball, please. Udai Murrah. Now Evan Lee.
It's a nice ball.
Gonzalez. Eaton. Gonzalez again with service. Adekora sends it out, but only as far as Eaton. Ooh. Adekora again. A little more desperate there, and Richmond wins a corner.
And that's all because of that hustle that the kickers displayed. I believe this is their third corner of this opening half. Great anticipation and hustle.
Well played by the veteran Atakora. Red Army enjoying it. I wonder if they got the mead tonight.
Oh, that's a nice ball. Just a little bit too far into the goal area. If that's about 2 or 3 yards farther out, that could be a problem.
That turned out to be casual for
Yep.
Crapo. Now, Gagnon LaParade. Reed. Taylor back for Eddie Edward. Now Mayer Jaguar.
Ottawa will try to regroup here.
Nana Atakora. DC United, San Jose Earthquakes. A couple different clubs in the NASL, and that winds up in oblivion.
Right over the head of one of our cameras.
35 minutes gone, and Richmond trails by a goal. Scott Thompson. And the high pressure from Manila. Brandon Eaton. And the kickers have really enjoyed the preponderance of possession. Greg Bame trying to find Shriver.
See Shriver acknowledging that effort there. Just a little too heavy with the pass, but Bame and Shriver both giving each other thumbs up on that effort.
Official stats tell us the possession is about 75% Richmond, which is about what Toronto had in the first half last week. This is nothing. Ottawa is right in their wheelhouse right now. That's how they play. Gagnon LaParade tumbled in traffic. Howarth plays the ball ahead for Taylor. Good turn. Dos Santos making a run. Now out to Reed.
Good composure by Taylor to a lot of guys would have panicked, but he kept possession and was able to find Reed.
Reed in a pretty good battle with Eaton. And Edward right back for Reed. Gonzalez took Reed down just outside the area.
Like everybody was holding their breath, John, on that one, waiting the referee. Where was he going to signal? And he signaled a corner kick. But you never know. There it is again, and that's well defended. But I love to watch fans' reactions because they look at the center ref and say, where is he pointing? Penalty kick, or is he pointing to the corner? And in this case, it's the corner. So
the 38th minute, corner kick coming here for Ottawa Fury FC. Carl Howarth will do the honors. He created the play that led to the own goal earlier. Yep. And his service in finds the back of the net.
Wow.
2-0 Ottawa.
Unlike the kicker's corner kick, which was in the goal area, this one was also, but boy, he did a great job in maneuvering that one right near the post.
Well, Ottawa gave up a goal like that last week to Toronto, a corner that found the back of the net. I think this one's going to go to Howarth.
Well, you hit the nail on the head in the pregame, John. You were talking about this young man and his influence on Ottawa's team, and it is evident here in this opening half. Look at this. That one is bending.
Yeah, that's off Barnes.
Yep.
So that's a goal for Howarth right on the corner.
Barnes was looking for a foul. I think it was Atakora that was right in front of him, and he thought there was a little interference, but no call, and Howarth gets the goal, and Ottawa's up 2-0. So just like a week ago, the Kickers find themselves trailing. They were down 2-0 at Charlotte last week and ended up falling 2-1, and now here at home at City Stadium, they are down 2-0.
Howarth scores his third goal of the season. And now Richmond has to chase the game. Here's Oscar Umar. Shriver. Shriver service. Atakora heads it clear. Dos Santos sends it further along.
Love to see the Kickers get one back here before this half ends.
for Oscar Umar. Greg Bame.
Good block that time.
Gagnon LaPerre with the temporary takeaway. Now Thompson. Bame.
Ooh.
Oh, he was looking for Imura, but Manella was right there. Actually, Christian Portilla.
That was a good run by Imura, but an even better play by Portilla.
Howarth clearing for Taylor. Numbers coming. Dos Santos. Evan Lee with the block. Lee and Dos Santos getting frisky.
It's a good battle right there between those two.
Lee able to find Brandon Eaton, and he relieves pressure. Headed down by Mayer Jaguar. Portilla from Manila. Now Howarth. Nana Atakora. 40 minutes gone in the first half, and Ottawa with a 2-0 lead. Thompson.
You
Umar.
can kind of see the
Schreiber.
difference.
Ryan Schreiber had some space. Gonzalez trying to run onto it. That was broken up by Atakora. Now Umar!
Boy, that was a cannon. I thought Schreiber had an opportunity to take a shot, but instead laid it off. But then a great job by Umar to come through, and boy, his rocket just missed.
I think Crapo got a piece of that. We're going to get a corner out of this. Yep.
Yep. Another great camera angle. As you can see, Raul Gonzalez there for the Kickers, helping the referee with his decision on the corner kick.
Chris Manella slow to get up. Came through the Toronto system. Umar scored the first goal of the season for the Kickers way back in March up at Bethlehem Steel, and it was a bomb from distance. Service here is headed out by Mayer Jaguar.
Oh, another nice job by the Kickers to
Brandon Eaton wins it back.
stop the breakout.
Now Imura finds Gonzalez, but Crapo had the angle on that one.
Yep. So Crapo just settling his teammates down.
Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from around the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/UHL Soccer.
John, you were talking about Raul Gonzalez getting some more opportunities, and of course scored the last game. In fact, I think you said the last two games for the Kickers, and he had a great opportunity there a moment ago, but a good job by Crapo to stand his ground and make the save. But again, Gonzalez was able to get free and rip a shot.
Dos Santos broke that play up from Gonzalez, but unable to control the ball. Kind of went flying a little bit.
One thing I was going to mention earlier, when the Ottawa has the ball in the back of their back end, you don't see the high pressure that you see when Richmond is back in their end, that Ottawa's possess it, that is Ottawa is doing to Richmond, and it's allowing the Ottawa backs and goalkeeper to kind of make easy decisions of where to go with the ball.
Thompson's ball a little too heavy for Imura. Crapo encouraged to pick it up by Matthew Bolduc. 43 minutes elapsed here in the first half, and Ottawa with a 2-0 lead. Nice touch from Eaton. And then Eaton drew a foul.
Quick restart, but the center referee is going to hold play until Eaton is checked on. Dos Santos talking to him.
It's actually Oscar Umar, the man down.
Oh, is it Umar? Okay. Yep.
Yeah, Red Army out in force. They didn't bring the hurricane flags, though. They had hurricane flags planned earlier in the week. Certainly our best wishes to everybody in the way of Florence.
No doubt.
And our friends at the NCFC, Charlotte Independence, and the Charleston Battery. Battery and Independence were scheduled to play tonight. That's been postponed to Wednesday. NCFC was on the road and will play tomorrow as scheduled. Service from Eaton. Atacora with the clearance. Dos Santos against Umar. Dos Santos showing some strength, and now Reed with some space.
You don't want to give him too much space.
And Reed's service found Dos Santos. And Barnes had some help from the woodwork. Manella.
There's
Howarth, the overlapping run.
Oh, well defended that time.
Scott Thompson won that battle. And Bolduc trying to fight through Atacora. Manella gets in there. Bolduc a strong tackle. He goes down and draws a foul.
And you can see the frustration from Atacora.
The intensity picking up markedly there.
Barnes gets some help, as you mentioned, from the woodwork. Ooh, that was close.
A great run by Dos Santos. Ottawa needs the 3 points, and they're almost halfway there. In the waning seconds of the regulation 45. Now into stoppage time. And Murrah. We have 1 minute of additional time here in the first half. Bame. Umar. Evan Lee. Eaton. Gonzalez.
Able to wiggle away from some pressure.
Now Bame. Thompson with service. Atacora again.
Ooh.
Ooh, we had a lot of contact in the box as Reed took Brandon Eaton down. The dying embers of first half stoppage. Eaton's been happier. I think Richmond was offside there.
Just might do it for this opening half.
Crepeau will put it up in the air one more time, and if gravity holds, I would imagine that will be the final whistle of the opening 45. The Red Army, as always, ready for more.
And
there is the first half whistle. So 45 in the books from City Stadium. The Ottawa Fury in desperate need of standings points. Richmond Kickers trying to stave off mathematical elimination tonight. And at the end of 45, an own goal, and then a Howarth corner that finds the back of the net. And the Ottawa Fury with a 2-0 lead. Halftime activity next on ESPN+.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D., the construction worker. I'm Nikki D., the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D., the doctor. I'm Nikki D., the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D., the referee. I'm Nikki D., the teacher. I'm Nikki D., the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D., the race car driver.
Nikki D. Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
John Emmett and Mike Neville back at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia. It is halftime. USL Soccer tonight. Ottawa Fury, the road side, with a 2-0 lead over the Richmond Kickers in a game that Ottawa desperately needs to win as they chase a playoff spot. David Bulow's side on a breezy but mostly pleasant, far better than the early week forecast night here at City Stadium. And the Kickers early on with almost all of the possession, but as all too familiar a story, no end product, and then a couple of pieces of disaster in the back, and the Kickers found themselves trailing by 2 at the interval.
You see the Kickers had some really some chances early on, and then this is the first goal, and unfortunately it's an own goal on the cross from Howarth, and it was knocked into the net, and that gave Ottawa the 1-0 lead. Beautiful touch across, and you see Barnes, and his first start was coming across, but unfortunately it went off a kicker. And then again, Richmond had a couple of shots like that, John, in the first half where they just sailed them over the crossbar, but they did have some combinations, and again, here's an opportunity for Ottawa as Taylor was able to somehow get across, but the header went over the touchline, and then again, there is Shriver with a free kick that could not get on goal, and another opportunity. Crepeau with a good job of snuffing that out. And then that corner kick, I'll tell you, that was beautifully placed by the veteran Howarth, and Barnes just couldn't make the save. You see Barnes, he's upset. He thought he was interfered with. I believe Acaporo was in front of him, big guy, number 4, but no call, and puts him up 2-0. And we talked about Richmond needed a quick start. They were down 10 minutes in, John, 1-0, and now here at the half, they're down 2-0 like they were on the road at Charlotte a week ago and dropping that 2-1 decision. So
the Kickers again chasing the game, but they certainly had plenty of time on the ball to get things done. 71% possession in the opening 45 minutes. But for the Ottawa Fury, that's another day at the office.
Yeah.
They just absorb it and keep going. And the Fury, 45 minutes away from a big step toward a playoff spot. More halftime next on ESPN+.
Days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on road with ProPilot Assist that helps keep you centered in your lane. The technology of tomorrow, available today. This is your last chance to save on America's best-selling SUV and our entire lineup. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry in to Nissan Now. Exclusive offers and this event end April 2nd. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or save up to $10,500 on select models.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D, the construction worker. I'm Nikki D, the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D, the doctor. I'm Nikki D, the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D, the referee. I'm Nikki D, the teacher. I'm Nikki D, the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D, the race car driver.
Nikki D, Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
How's it going, everyone? USL's Kelsey Steele here with FC Cincinnati defender Forrest Lasso. So we're well aware of what Forrest can do on the pitch, so today we're going to see what he's got on the court. We've got a game of horse going with a few questions in between. So Forrest, you want to get to it?
Let's do it.
Go.
Oh, let's go. Oh, pressure's on. Let's do it.
We got an H, people. So you're a rally guy. Favorite part about North Carolina?
Ooh, sweet tea and barbecue.
MJ or LeBron?
Oh, that's like the Pele Messi question.
There's only one right answer.
I mean, I'm definitely biased, so I'm MJ. We'll go with Bank this time.
Oh, okay, all right. Ah!
Oh, we got a letter.
Okay, sweet spot then on the court.
Top of the key.
Top
Why
of the
not?
key, okay.
Oh, yes.
Whose play would you mirror the most?
Little size difference with Dwayne Wade. He was the reason I started watching the NBA.
Get out of here. What, only 5'6", 5'7" at 16, and now you're pushing 6'7" at 25? What's that like for you?
So being the small guy, I was like the run of the litter growing up. I was always the smallest guy on every team, and then once it started to grow, I would like to say I was more technically sound when I was younger and smaller. And as I kind of grew, I kept the technical part of my game, and then I also realized that I have the physical side. When it comes to the game, it's definitely been a blessing. It's a special tool or trait that not everybody has, obviously.
Killing me.
Needed that.
Being pulled in from that Cincinnati community, what do they do bring to you guys?
Oh man, I've been playing this game since, I don't know, 3 years old. Everybody likes the game, not everybody loves the game, and when you go to Cincinnati, you can tell that there's 40,000 people that love it.
You're roommates with Jimmy. Tell me you've got a good story or two living with him over these last few months.
We've probably seen it on a few goal celebrations, but he's got absolutely no rhythm. He's probably going to hate that I told the world this, but he's, when it comes to dancing, this guy's pretty fun to watch.
Not short. Ah! Give it to the champ.
That was fun.
That'll do it for us today, Forrest. Thanks for coming along and bearing the heat with us. For now, that'll do it from Tampa.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
And back at City Stadium, Richmond, Virginia, John Emmett along with Mike Neville, halftime, and the Ottawa Fury enjoying a 2-0 lead over the Richmond Kickers as the Kickers begin to drift back onto the pitch here. Of course, big off-the-field news for the Kickers this week is they announced that they would be joining the new USL 3rd Division next season as part of the inaugural Class 8 officially announced sides. There will be more coming as they will tangle with, amongst others, Greenville in South Carolina, South Georgia Tormenta, the Chattanooga Pro Soccer franchise, Orlando City. It's a renewal of a rivalry there as Orlando, the MLS franchise, came up through the USL, then 3rd Division, as the Kickers returning to a level from whence they came. The Kickers spent more than a decade in what U.S. soccer deemed 3rd Division play. So it's actually kind of a return home for the Kickers at a time when the 2nd Division is kind of turned into an MLS holding pen.
Right.
And there are some gigantic budgets. Meanwhile, there'll be more team announcements coming shortly. I think you're going to see a minimum of 2 more MLS reserve sides coming in, probably a few more than that. a couple of which did not play this year. There's teams that hold the rights to reserve teams that were waiting for the third division to come to fruition. U.S. Soccer is currently going through the process of certifying the third division.
And Chattanooga knows who their coach is going to be, John. Tim Hankinson has been named head coach of the new Chattanooga franchise next season.
John Harkes will also be involved coaching in USL D3 next year. Halftime stats are presented by Valpak, valpak.com, your 24/7 source for nonstop savings on hundreds of Richmond area businesses and local restaurants. Don't have the famous blue envelope with you? Download the free Valpak app for even easier savings, valpak.com. It is like printing money. The one positive you see here is Kickers with 8 shots, and that was a point of emphasis this week. They took only 10 at Charlotte last week, despite having all sorts of possession. So they've been a little more aggressive shooting the ball. They've been a little better getting it on target than the Fury. Fury, 2 goals on 1 shot. That's pretty effective offense.
Yeah, 1 corner kick, and that corner kick resulted in goal number 2 for the Fury, as opposed to the 4 corner kicks that Richmond has been awarded. But unfortunately, Richmond really hasn't had much success in generating anything off of those corner kicks. And again, the 1 corner kick that Ottawa was given, they took advantage as Howarth with a tremendous goal as it stuck inside the post. And again, the goalkeeper Barnes thought he was interfered with no call, and as it is, it's 2-0 Ottawa with that second goal coming off their lone corner kick of the night.
Referee Mr. Snyder has not been particularly busy. No cautions yet. His book is empty as members of the Red Army filtering back into the stands and looking a bit pensive right now, waiting for the home side to break out. Back on the field, the Kickers in red. Ottawa will touch the ball first to get it started.
And John, you mentioned the experience level of both these teams. It really showed in that first half. The Ottawa team did a great job, I thought, defensively, and also, again, they were threatening offensively. And of course, they got 2 goals out of it, one of them being an own goal. But I think the experience level clearly showed between the 2 teams in the opening half.
Neither team offering a substitution at halftime. Kickers with Brandon Barnes in net. It is Maxime Crepeau in goal for the Ottawa Fury as Steven Dos Santos stands over the ball. It's a back 4 of Hayworth, Meyer Jaguer, Atacora, and Edward. Midfield of Gagnon, LaPerre, Manella, and Portilla. And then up front, Reed, Dos Santos, and Taylor in a 4-3-3 for the Kickers, with the rookie Barnes making his first pro appearance tonight. The back 4 is Thompson, Roberts, Lee, and Eaton. Brandon Eaton, unfamiliar with that role as an outside back, but he hasn't played much anywhere this year. Oscar Umar holding midfielder with Bolduc, Imura, Bame, and Gonzalez. And then Shriver up top. It's a 4-1-4-1 as the final 45 underway. And Atacora with the long ball, but overshot the center forward Dos Santos there.
I thought Umar and Roberts were pretty solid in the back for Richmond, and they also created a little bit of offense as well. Umar had that 1 shot that just skimmed over the crossbar, and Roberts just missed a cross on a header attempt, and I thought both were very active and very solid for Coach Bulow.
Richmond pushed bodies forward in the opening 45. Here's Roberts. Now Evan Lee. Greg Bame looking for Eaton. Atacora stepped in front. Here's Reed, deflected by Lee, and then Eaton plays back. And Oscar Umar in pursuit. Played his university soccer at Villanova. He's a native of Ghana. Roberts out for Scott Thompson.
Kickers, of course, over 70% possession in that first half, but as John has mentioned a couple of times, that's not unusual for this Ottawa squad. They like to counterattack, and the scoreboard says that they are certainly having success.
Gonzalez ball nearly fell for an attacking kicker, but Crepeau off his line.
Yeah, Crepeau with a good decision here.
And we do have a sub. That's Aviel Cordovez, who's into the game for the Kickers. The former Cuban national in his first year in Richmond. has entered the Kickers lineup.
And Crapo with again, that a good solid decision. When you're in goal, you've got to make those split-second decisions to come out or stay back, and he made the right decision there to come out and thwart that offensive challenge.
There's Brandon Eaton. That's a solid tackle there from Mayor Jaguar. Montreal Impact property with junior Canadian national experience. Raul Gonzalez against Eddie Edward.
Gonzalez was looking for a call, no foul, and we play on.
Edward, long ball forward for Dos Santos, headed cleared by Evan Lee. Now Umar, that's broken up by Gagnon Lapare. And here's Thompson.
Good stick there.
Portilla comes away with it. Now Manella. Barnes out to play it. Here's Manella. Now Gagnon Lapare. Ooh. Roberts able to get ahead to it. That's chased down by Tony Taylor.
Yeah, they were trying to find Taylor on that little chip, but Roberts just got enough of it to disrupt that play.
A strong run by Miller Jaguar, but Umar there to sweep it out of harm's way.
Yeah, Jaguar just picked that ball up and just started heading for goal and threw it into the middle, and there was only a Richmond kicker waiting for it, but they will get a throw out of it, will Ottawa.
Carl Howarth for the restart. Evan Lee. Thompson. That was won by Gagnon Lapare. Dos Santos broken up by Umar.
He comes up limping after that shot attempt that was blocked.
And Umar able to clear as far as Cordova as he's hounded by Atakora. More high pressure here from Ottawa. Thompson. Now space for Umar. Udai Imura.
Imura was very active, John, in that first half, in the beginning of the first half, but then kind of disappeared as the half went on.
Here's Howarth, who's caused all kinds of trouble. Taylor. And Barnes making his first professional save.
Yeah. Well, they gave some space for Taylor, and Taylor has dropped in 5 goals this season. I don't think you want to give that young man too much space, but Barnes was positioned perfectly to snuff that out.
Well, Ottawa up 2-0, almost 5 minutes gone in the second half. Evan Lee. Brian Shriver. Canova's came on for I think Matthew Baldock. Never did get official confirmation. Here's Reed. Dos Santos. Portilla. Now Gagnon Lapare. Edwards jumping up. Edwards!
Ooh. Boy, he had a great angle. He didn't miss by much on that one. You can see his reaction.
Eddie Edwards, one-time FC Dallas property, played some in Puerto Rico. Hasn't scored yet this season. Didn't miss that much by that one by much.
No, he did not. Well done. And then look at this. Boy, that just scoots just past the post, the far post. Kicker's fortunate they're not down 3-love.
Roberts out to Thompson. Brandon Eaton. Gonzalez on the overlap. Eaton easily knocked down by Manella. Gagnon Lapare looking for space. Mueller Jaguar plays the safe ball.
Quick restart here, trying to get the attack going once again for the Kickers.
Roberts broken up by Atakora. Roberts recovers. Bame for Gonzalez. Now here's Umar. Thompson, Brian Shriver.
Good build-up here by the Kickers.
Umar has a little space. That was closed down by Mayor Giguère. Now Thompson looking for Shriver, but Portilla right there. Yeah, the Kickers getting much the better of the possession. That's well played by David Bulow.
Yeah, it was.
He's a pretty good player. Maybe instead of signing...
the coach showing some skill.
Yeah, yesterday was the deadline day in USL for roster additions as Gonzalez draws a foul from Gagnon Laparé.
Yeah, he was yanked down pretty forcefully.
Ronnie Pascal, who was often our color commentator on these broadcasts, was signed by the Kickers yesterday. I know that furrowed some brows around the area, but the explanation for that's really simple. Ronnie is not expected to play or really even practice much. He has a day job. But the Kickers wanted a third goalie on the roster in case of what Bulow said, disasters. That if Ronnie's in uniform, something bad happened. But the Kickers wanted to have a third goalie available. You know, sort of like the old East Coast Hockey League emergency backup goalie. We had when I was with the Richmond Renegades, we had a stockbroker in town, Rob Jones, who was a really talented college goalie, but not really a pro guy. But he was available in town and suited up on numerous occasions over the years, and that's kind of Ronnie now as the emergency backup goalkeeper in these parts.
Like you mentioned, if you see Ronnie in goal or even on the bench, that's not a good sign.
No, something bad happened.
Yep.
Red Army trying to exert the home side on. Meanwhile, the Kickers did make another signing yesterday. That's Sean Russell, who played at St. Francis and has been training with the Kickers basically on his own dime the entire season.
Wow.
He came to the club and asked for the opportunity to just kind of run around and see if he can improve to the point where he could play professionally. And out of nowhere, he wasn't even on a lineup card, and he got some run in the friendly against RCD Espanyol. And that's how friendly that match was. He didn't even have to be on the roster to play. But he looked the part, and he is actually in the 18 as a potential sub tonight.
Now we saw a shot of the Ottawa coach, Popovic, and it's he doesn't have any gray hair. I would think with the possession that Ottawa usually does not have a lead in that category that he'd have more gray hair.
Yeah, some of the places he's coached are not terribly forgiving. He was in Serbia for a while. I don't think I'd want to be anywhere near under 500 in Serbia.
Right.
Kickers down here 2-0 in the 55th minute. Kind of goals that have haunted Richmond throughout the second half of the season. Own goal off a cross and then a corner that found its way in. And the captain who made that throw, Carl Howarth, involved in both those plays. Dos Santos gets a touch, but Barnes able to handle it. Distribution for Gonzalez. Now Cordovez. Gonzalez, see if Cordovez can make a run. But Atacora gets there first. Make a turn there from Mueller-Giguère, the 20-year-old, one of a couple of promising Montreal youngsters with the Ottawa Fury at the moment as Manella plays the long ball. Ottawa traveled light. They only have 5 dressed subs for this one.
And they have not substituted yet, correct?
No, they have not. Only halftime change was Cordovez for Matthew Bolduc. Milan Roberts.
Well, they've had passes that just failed to click, just unlucky as far as some of their through balls. And
good work for Murrah, who had a little physical there with Chris Manella and wasn't very happy about it. Evan Lee. Umar. Now Roberts. Thompson for Gonzalez. Service in for Shriver. Now Cordovez, a tricky touch. And Cordovez winds up comfortable for Maxime Crépeau.
He was able to turn and get a shot on, but it was, they'd like to have a little bit more pace on that shot, but Crepeau again was up to the task.
There's Umar. Wind starts to kick up a little bit. It's been a remarkably comfortable night here. This game was actually really close to being postponed early in the week. Even had a makeup date picked out. There's Udai Amura, now Roberts. Turns out to be one of the nicer nights of the season. Evan Lee. Now Eaton, and he wins a corner off Eddie Edward.
First corner of the second half for the Kickers. See what they can do with it here. Try to pull the win and a goal on this corner kick.
Fifth corner of the match for the Kickers. Scott Thompson will strike the ball. Doesn't look very happy about it.
No, he doesn't. But it was a good ball.
Loosened the 6 and that squirted off Mayer Jaguar, and the Kickers will try it from the other side through Brian Shriver.
Thompson may not have been happy, but he put in a beautiful ball in.
That was trouble.
Says, "Ah, what the heck, I'll just give it a shot." And then
Mayer Jaguar was in a pretty good tussle there with Umar.
Almost became an own goal for Ottawa there.
Adekora was able to deny Cordovez access to that ball. Adekora was banged up.
And he is down. He's been a stud all night for him.
Yeah, he really has been strong on the back line. Veteran out of North York, Ontario. 70 games of Major League Soccer service. Stay up to date with all the best from social media around the USL by watching Off the Post with Kelsey Steele every Friday evening on the USL's social media channels.
Again, for the threat of the weather that we had, a terrific turnout on the Richmond side. Really no surprise. The Kickers, of course, always draw well here at City Stadium, and really proud of the way the fans came out tonight with the threat of the weather. Kind of a strange weather day. We'd have some clouds and get a little bit of a shower, and you think, well, this shower's going to stick around and then clear up. You'd see some blue skies, and then about 15, 20 minutes later, back to the clouds and the wind.
The wind has kind of picked up, died down, picked up. So we'll get a restart here as Adekora puts himself back together again. I suspect that he took a little bit of a shot at a sensitive location. The officials having a little chin wag right now, and David Bulow wouldn't be crushed to get an explanation. The Ottawa bench is curious as well, as Mr. Popovich is over to chat with one of the assistants. I think the question is how to restart based on when Adekora went down, and referee Mr. Snyder stopped play.
You saw a shot of Barnes a moment ago. Kind of hard to gauge how good he is. I mean, the two goals obviously were not his fault. The second one, the corner kick maybe, but again, Adekora was right there in his face, and but he has made the one save where he was kind of diving, but it was right to him for the most part. So really kind of hard to gauge what his performance has been. Wouldn't you agree, John?
Yeah, he really hasn't had much of a chance yet. Kickers like to keep it that way and see if they can chip back a little bit as Thompson plays one in. Brandon Eaton, strong run, but nice job by Reed to come back on D and close him down.
Yeah, he showed some speed, Reed did, on that one, because I thought Eaton had a clear path, but then Reed really found an extra gear and was able to knock that ball out of play.
Adonasia Reed, one of 7 native Canadians in the 11 for Ottawa tonight. For all the Canadian content, they've turned down a chance to play in next year's new Canadian Premier League. As Thompson to the Kickers' 7th corner.
Punched away.
And Crepeau out to knock it clear, but only as far as Eaton. And Thompson trying to play it back in, but whistle against the Kickers here. Yeah, it was considered kind of a fait accompli early this season that Ottawa would depart this league after 2 seasons in the USL and would be one of the founding members of the Canadian Premier League next season, but they announced last week that they're going to stay where they are.
Crepeau is very aggressive on this corner kick. Watch him come off his line and just punch that one away right there. He's tail end of it there as he punched it out of play, or punched it away from the goal area.
Kenyon LaParade knocked it loose, but Kickers go right back to work offensively, and Mayor Jaguar tries to clear only as far as Eaton. Now here's Cordovez. Closed down by Kenyon LaParade. Umar recovering. Now Milan Roberts. Brian Schreiber. Ball won by Manella. Dos Santos dropping it back for Taylor. Again, David Bulow playing the ball aggressively on the sideline.
Sure he doesn't have a uniform underneath that.
He was a pretty good player when he was here.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
A little different background, too. He was a Division III guy, Bowdoin College.
If I'm not mistaken, that's a pretty good Division III program.
And it is not for folks who don't like books.
That's for sure.
Here's Umar, just past the hour mark. Kickers down 2-0, and both goals the kind that keep coaches up at night. Own goal on a cross, and then a corner that found its way into the net. Thompson's service. Crepeau right there. And the Kickers enjoying all sorts of possession. End product has been elusive. Roberts heading it forward, but only as far as Manella. And now chance for Umar to go a galloping. Ran right through Kenyon LaParade. Cordovez laying it off for Gonzalez. He has Eaton on an overlap.
Gonzalez had a terrific opportunity in the first half. Snuffed out. He's seen some more touches here in the second half, though.
Thompson for Udai Imura. Thompson again for Imura. Imura in for Shriver to Gonzalez.
See the frustration from Raul Gonzalez.
Well, it's a lot like the game these two teams played in Ottawa in August. Kickers had possession, they had build-up. Final product was just elusive all night. That looked a lot like a Cordovez chance early in the game at Ottawa.
Yep. See that the ball, Shriver kind of played dummy there, and the ball went past him, and Gonzalez that was left for him, and unfortunately knocked it over the goal.
Crepeau puts it back in play. Dos Santos heading forward, but Evan Lee there. Roberts going to switch the field. Gonzalez. Cordovez. Laid it off for Eaton, and it bounced right off his hand.
Yep. Again, we've been saying it's been a season of unluckiness for the Kickers, and there's an example right there. Eaton just running, and the ball just flicked up and hit him in the hand.
66th minute. An Ottawa Fury team that really needs the 3 tonight. Out in front by 2 goals.
I mentioned in the first half, it's been since July since they put together back-to-back wins. They're coming off a 4-3 victory over Toronto. So this would be something very unusual this season for Ottawa to win back-to-back games.
Good high pressure there from the Kickers. Eddie Edward recovered. And now Taylor forcing Barnes well off his line. They have as much pressure as the Kickers have put on. The counter can be a problem. Here's Reed.
Yeah, we saw that in the first half where the Kickers really pushing a lot of players up. And it really didn't burn them, but whenever you are down 2-0, you're trying to create some more offense. A lot of times you'll get some breakaways or get some odd man rushes, as they say in hockey.
Eaton's ball only as far as Portilla, but took a nice bounce to Udai Imura, and now here's Gonzalez. Shriver. Thompson. No, I was looking for Shriver, but Dos Santos hurries back on D. Then Roberts won it back, but fouled Taylor in doing so.
Roberts is going to ask the center referee about that. Not sure he's going to get the explanation he wants, but it's worth asking.
Red Army kind of making their own fun right now. Thought they'd be offering helpful officiating hints. Get an inside look at life on and off the pitch from a player's perspective each Wednesday evening on the latest edition of From the Pitch on USLsoccer.com. 68th minute. Red Army would like to display some pyrotechnics. That requires the home side scoring one. Here's Reed. Now Portilla. Edward. A relatively unusual respite of Ottawa possession. Portilla. Barnes again alert off his line. The Illinois native. Spent some time with the Laredo Heat before coming to Richmond. Here's Umar. Imura back for Umar. Roberts.
Lee was asking for the ball over on the side, much like Roberts did in the first half.
Now Roberts going to switch the field. And he finds Brandon Eaton. And then Eaton service in, squirted off Edward. Canyon LaParade charging after it, but Evan Lee got there first, and now Greg Boehm has some room. Here's Cordovez. Cordovez through traffic. Cordovez
just hung on to it a tad too long.
Adekora able to clear after Canyon LaParade kind of bumped him off a bit. Now Umar. Thompson. Milan Roberts. David Bulow hollering instructions. Umar. Cordovez.
Was able to turn, but sent one over the wall. And in this sport, you don't want to do that.
Gonna get a change here.
Oliveira replacing number 2, Jeremy Genio.
And it will be Kevin Oliveira for Jeremy Gagnon LaParade. Oliveira, a member of the Cape Verde national side, spent some time in Portugal, Swope Park Rangers last year. In the Atlanta United system a little bit earlier this year. 22 years old.
Oliveira's also been very active offensively for Ottawa this season with 4 goals.
It's an interesting move. You get a little more punch. Gagnon LaParade can play the back line and is a defensive midfielder by trade. Oliveira is more of a center mid attacking guys. Let's see if they move some people around formationally here. Here's Greg Boehm for Richmond. Thompson unable to keep that ball in play, and the wind may have been a bit of a factor there.
Boehm had all kinds of space to maneuver.
Kicker's getting set to make another change here. Will be their second. The sub of Oliveira, the first. Prince Agamang is getting ready to come on for Richmond. Taylor chasing the speculative ball. Evan Lee to try to close him down. Taylor for Portilla. Well defended by Eaton. Now Manella.
Good recovery by the kickers.
Howarth, that was broken up by Milan Roberts as he stepped in front of Taylor. Thompson. Thompson again. Umar against Taylor. And the throw will go Ottawa's way. Red Army continues to bring the ruckus.
If you didn't know the score, you looking at the way they're celebrating, you might think the Kickers were ahead.
Portilla comfortable for Barnes.
Ball skimmed all the way through on the ground, and Barnes was able to smother it.
Here's Gonzalez. Oh, he had Cordova. I'm not sure if he was on side. And then Edward ran right through Gonzalez.
Boy, it was clearly a violent foul there.
Free kick in an intriguing position for the Kickers.
Easy call here. As Gonzalez puts on the Jets, and Edwards says, okay, enough of this. Down you go.
Yeah, Edward ran him over, and now, again, you're likely to see Shriver strike it. Thompson has had a couple of decent ones this year himself.
John, I have no desire to be a center referee, but I could have called that one.
Yeah, that was not a difficult decision.
No, it was not.
See if Shriver has a go from a tough angle or plays back post.
The line drive. Didn't get a lot of air under that one.
And Oliveira got his first touch. And a comfortable clear for the Fury. A little over a quarter of an hour remaining. Kickers looking for a goal to inject some drama back into this thing. Instead, they give it away to Dos Santos. Dos Santos has numbers. Dos Santos looking for Reed! And he missed the kill shot.
Wow. Boy, oh boy.
Adonesia Reed will see that one
Yes,
on the
he
way
will.
home a couple of times.
What a beautiful ball. And he just, all he's got to do, it might have been deflected by
Yeah,
Barnes.
Barnes got a piece.
Yeah,
That's a good save by Barnes.
So we're a little critical of Reed, but give Barnes credit for nudging that one over the line.
Kickers are going to use their second change here. Prince Agaman joined the team shortly after David Bulow took over as head coach.
A beautiful run by Reed and a beautiful delivery by Dos Santos. Results in a corner kick, obviously, for Ottawa.
Agaman comes on just in time for the corner. Howarth has already done damage with these tonight. Barnes taking no chances on that one. That'll be a Richmond goal kick. So Howarth is now 1 for 2 on those.
Yep. Not a bad percentage when you're doing corner kicks.
Yeah, you put 50% of your corners in the net, you can probably find a job in this game somewhere.
That's right.
Again, some high pressures the Kickers trying to build. Here's Roberts for Umar. Now Eaton. Just missed Shriver. Meyer Jaguer turns it along. Roberts headed it down. Evan Lee trying to get in front of Dos Santos. Here's Reed.
Good quick decision there by Reed.
Portilla with a layoff for Howarth. Portillo, Howarth.
Ottawa doing a nice job of possessing here.
Maybe the most passes they've strung together all night.
I agree with that.
Meyer Jaguer broken up by Evan Lee, but Edward there to recover. Now Umar.
Umar with good anticipation on that.
Here's Shriver. Eaton. Now Gonzalez. Gonzalez! And an alert Crapo denying any opportunity for a Richmond runner.
That was a good, strong cross from Gonzalez, and even better play by Crapo to read that. He dove across. There was a kicker on the doorstep if that would have gotten through, but watch this. Nice job by Crapo. That Cordova, I believe, maybe.
Yeah, Cordova was trying to make that run. Richmond goal kick coming. Now less than a quarter of an hour remaining of the regulation 90. Agamang replaced Greg Bain in the kickers lineup. 2 subs have been employed by David Bulow. Ottawa still has 2 at their disposal. Udai Amura. Thompson. Looking for Eden.
Oh.
Unable to get a clean touch.
Yep.
Grapo there to clean it up.
Grapo directing traffic in the back.
They'll probably try to use a little time here as well.
There's that good cross.
We got to Eaton in a nice spot. I'm not sure if he intended to try to lay that off for Shriver, maybe.
Looked that way, didn't it, John? I thought that's what I thought he was going to lay it off, and might have been better suited to try to give that a go.
Milan Roberts physically winning a goal kick there for Richmond. Evan Lee. Gonzalez. Agamang getting his first touch of the ball. He was playing in the Spanish 3rd Division when actually out of contract after some time in the Spanish 3rd Division when the Kickers found him earlier this summer. Free kick coming here for Ottawa. Now less than 12 minutes from time. 2 first-half goals for the Fury. One on a cross that turned into an own goal. The second, a corner, found the back of the net. And it was Howarth delivering the cross. Taylor is getting some assistance here. Chris Manella maybe explaining how that happened.
By the way, Ref, in case you missed it.
Red Army offering maybe some alternative suggestions. How well do you know the USL? Test your knowledge in USLsoccer.com's weekly picks competition every week, and you can win tickets to an upcoming USL game of your choice.
Good to see Taylor up and moving around.
I think we're going to get another sub here for Ottawa, and that was Taylor's last action of the game. And we'll get Jimmy Shamar Sano coming out here. Native of Montreal, but also some Haitian background, and he has played for the Haiti national side.
Had a shot there of DeSantos. He looked a little uncomfortable, but looks like he'll be all right.
Sano, the second sub employed by the Fury tonight. Each team has 1 change left. And the Kickers get a throw here with just over 10 minutes left of the regulation 90. Agamang. Thompson back for Evan Lee. Edward got in front of that. A good effort to draw a foul there by Kevin Oliveira.
Yeah, Oliveira did a good job of showing some strength and possessing that ball. And now it's an opportunity for Ottawa here with this free kick.
Portilla, who came up through Spanish side Racing Santander, that's his hometown. He was unable to find Atakora up from his center back spot to make a run. So Brandon Barnes making his Richmond debut tonight.
Ooh.
And Oliveira almost turned that into a catastrophe. Kickers have had some issues with that. Here's Agamang.
That's what that high pressure will do. It'll force you into some mistakes, and sometimes it leads to the ball in the back of your net.
Now Evan Lee. Gonzalez. Reed got a little piece.
He's really had a lot more, been more active in this second half for Coach Bulow.
Oscar Umar. Now Milan Roberts. Thompson. Eaton trying to find it, but Reed won possession.
Gonzalez went down. He kind of planted his foot, but fortunately it doesn't look like there's anything real serious, but he is up and moving.
And now first action for Sano. Went down against Roberts. And Roberts, he's going to talk his way into the book if he's not already going in. Mr. Snyder has a card out for the first time tonight. And it's a booking offense for Milan Roberts. That's a tough yellow if that's for the foul.
Yeah.
He said something clever afterwards.
Right.
That's on him, but
Looks like there's a cramping issue with, might be the young man who just came on. Or is that Edward? Might be Edward. I'm not sure. But,
I think that's Eddie Edward, who's done a lot of running. They really push their backs up hard, their outside backs. Howarth is actually out. That was Reed.
both wrong.
Yeah, it was Reed.
He's going down again.
That may be more than a cramp or a really bad one. It's still trying to stretch him out.
Richmond's number 15, Roberts. Don't forget, we're back home a week.
Yellow card issued to Roberts, but again, it was kind of a questionable. But again, he might have said had something extra to say to draw the card. I'm not sure.
Only the second caution of the year accumulated by Roberts. Of course, he missed more than half the season. And a couple of different injuries that kept him out until RCD Espanol rolled in late July. The friendly was his first match of the year. Just a week and a half after that before he saw game action in league play. Referee is asking the Ottawa medical folks to kind of move it along here.
Kickers will be on the road a week from tonight. They'll travel down to Florida to take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and then on Wednesday, the 26th, excuse me, that's when they return home to City Stadium for the next home match.
Which is against FC Cincinnati, the current number one in the East. And Mike Crapeau is doing some extra work here.
He's not only stopping the ball from going in the goal, he's making assists.
Well, they wanted Reed off the field to move things along, and apparently it's the kind of thing they, instead of taking him to the bench, they're taking him to the neutral corner, as they say in the fight game.
That's right.
So for now, Ottawa will play with 10, but they also have a free kick in a dangerous spot. And now they will get the sub on. Sergio Manieso is going to come on here.
On for Ottawa, replacing Reed.
That one sailed over the goal. So a wasted opportunity for Ottawa.
Manasio is a defensive mid by trade. Coming on for Reed, and maybe there will be a little reshaping here for the Fury in the final 5 minutes or so of the 90. Agamang. Murrah back for Roberts. Prince Agamang, native of Ghana, came through the same program that brought Oscar Umar to the U.S. But he's had a little wider experience, played a bunch in Ireland. And Murrah laying off for Thompson. And the Kickers get yet another corner.
Well, that's one category they have led in tonight is the corner kick opportunities. Unfortunately, they have not been able to do anything.
Reed's night is over, and he's taking the South 40 back to the locker room. Ottawa now has used all three subs. Richmond still has one left. Here's Shriver's service.
Ooh, that one actually fell to the ground.
Yeah, it looked like it was right at Cordova, with Manella able to clear, and a burst of speed here from Sano, forcing Barnes well off his line.
Good composure by Barnes not to rush that as he was able to clear it ahead to Thompson.
Now Brian Shriver for Richmond, shadowed by Manella. And Sano, ball deflected right to Shriver. That was broken up by Dos Santos. Richmond throw coming.
Shriver did a nice job of settling that ball and keeping it in possession for the Kickers.
Now Evan Lee looking for Imura. Dos Santos got ahead to it. Shriver in for Cordovez.
Oh.
And Crepeau there to make the save.
I think if we see the replay on that, that was a little bit more difficult save than it looked at first.
And a nice job by Crepeau to make sure he didn't spill it.
I think he reaches to his left here because I think this shot kind of catches him by surprise. Good job of settling it and getting the shot away. Yeah, he kind of stuck the knee out, and I thought it was a little bit harder save than it was, but
nice job to corral that rebound with Milan Roberts coming way up from his center back spot to lurk around.
Young lady still having faith in the Kickers.
No quitting the fans tonight.
Nope.
Here's Oliveira. Now Portilla out to Howarth, who was responsible for both Ottawa goals, though he'll get credit only for one. Dos Santos. Now Sano. Closed down by Thompson. Agamang trying to get the counter going. Adekora deflected it right to Cordovez. Well defended there by Mayer Jaguar. Sends Evan Lee on his horse. Smartly handled by Barnes. Now Umar. Roberts, Kickers down to the final 90 seconds of regulation. There's probably not going to be a ton of stoppage time. Udai Imura. Roberts, but he has to play all the way back to Barnes.
Again, Ottawa continuing with that high pressure, John. It has caused some problems for the Kickers. They haven't had a lot of time and space to work with coming out of their own end.
Time really the key now.
Yeah.
Udai Imura. Agamang. Broken up by Adekora. Jaguar. Evan Lee comes up as he battled with Oliveira. Eaton unable to keep it in play with less than a minute remaining in the 90.
Now Eaton hobbling a little bit.
And now we'll get, this is an interesting sub for Richmond. Mikael Williams coming on for Udai Imura. So now you have a center back coming on for an attacking midfielder, so there's got to be something else up David Bulow's sleeve here. Maybe you push Milan Roberts all the way up. Maybe you go to a back three and play Thompson all the way up. I'm curious to see how this shakes out. Oliveira.
As I mentioned earlier, Murrow was very active in the opening 10 minutes of this match, and then kind of quietly was phased out.
Manacio, we're hearing 6 minutes to stop it. Well, you did have a couple of injuries.
Yeah.
I'm thinking no goals, but we did have a couple of stoppages for injuries. So 6 minutes of extra time, and that's life for the Kickers here. Edward for Portilla. Now Sano. Taken down by Umar. A free kick coming here for the Ottawa Fury. And Umar going to get a little lecture.
Yep. Got him. I think Umar is just frustrated with the entire night.
Now here's Howarth trying to cause more trouble, and he wins a corner. Now Red Army going down to the wire tonight. And the Kickers getting a generous portion of stoppage time, but Ottawa in no screaming hurry to take this. It'll be Christian Portilla. Part of the final North American Soccer League champion with the San Francisco Deltas last year.
He's getting an earful from the Red Army. Ball punched away by Barnes.
Yeah, Barnes got that, but only as far as Manila, and Portilla plays it back in, and he had runners. Jaguar was in the neighborhood along with Dos Santos. And they got a corner coming here for Ottawa. I think maybe they play this one short, just try to waste some time.
That corner, and nice job by Barnes to punch that away.
Now they do play this corner short.
Yeah.
Dos Santos trying to stand the ball up in the corner, but Gonzalez plays it out. Oliveira will throw it back in. 4 caps and 1 international goal while playing for Cape Verde.
Dos Santos.
Eaton and Dos Santos disagree over who should throw the ball in. That's why they have officials.
That's right.
Oliveira gets it back in. Dos Santos takes more abuse. And this time it's a Richmond throw.
Santos with a smile on his face. His team's up 2-0.
And Cordovez draws a foul. Kickers have to hurry. This would be 2 straight at home without a goal if they can't find one here in the final less than 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining as Howarth heads it forward.
Yeah, we told you in the pregame the Kickers have struggled to find offense all season long, and it, unfortunately so far has continued tonight.
Thompson back for Milan Roberts. Umar. Brandon Eaton unable to get on the end of that.
He's been out there all game long, and I'm not sure the tank is probably closer to E than a quarter of a tank, I can tell you that.
He hasn't had tons of minutes this year either.
Right.
Making only his 8th appearance of the season. Kickers getting Eaton some run, Evan Lee some run, and had a chance to play a whole bunch this season. Relatively rare start for Matthew Baldock tonight, just his 7th. And then Brandon Barnes, the Richmond goalkeeper, making his professional debut tonight. 2 minutes remaining of extra time. Ottawa 2, Richmond 0. Be a huge 3 points on the road for the Fury as Barnes off his line to try to start the Richmond counter. For the moment, this would move Ottawa into the top 8. But again, Nashville has 2 games in hand.
That might be the key stat you said in that playoff race. Those 2 games in hand that Nashville has.
First of a 3-game road trip for Ottawa too, so they won't see TD Place Stadium again for a while. This would be a huge road win. Agamang. Meyer-Jaguar, and then Oliveira blasting it forward with just over a minute remaining of stoppage.
Yeah, that's all he wanted to do, just waste some more time, make the Kickers go the length of the field.
Here's Umar. Agamang. Cordovez, well tackled by Oliveira, and Adekora just dragging a little more time off here. Final 45 seconds or so of stoppage time. And Mikael Williams is actually playing up. He really did take Imura's place. Didn't see that coming. Howarth recovered by Cordovez. Brian Shriver. Agamang. Shriver. Williams denied a touch there.
Good job with the build-up by the Kickers, but unfortunately cleared away, but they're still pressing.
Thompson in the dying embers, but Adekora gets one more header to clear. Now just a few seconds left as Oliveira plays it along.
There it is.
And that is it. We are done. Ottawa Fury getting what they need out of the trip to Richmond.
Yep, you mentioned it, John. They needed 3 points. They're going to get it. 2 first-half goals stand up. Unfortunately, the first one was an own goal. The second one, Howarth's corner kick sneaking in the near post. Barnes tried to get a hand on it, but just couldn't. And a big win for Ottawa tonight.
Yeah, just when you think the Kickers have found the most disturbing way to give up a goal and lose. They find a couple of new ways tonight, and they wind up short again. 2-0, Ottawa the win. Back to finish the recap after this on ESPN+.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue, America's best-selling SUV, and our entire lineup. Event ends April 2nd. Get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue, America's best-selling SUV, and our entire lineup. Event ends April 2nd. Get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D, the construction worker. I'm Nikki D, the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D, the doctor. I'm Nikki D, the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D, the referee. I'm Nikki D, the teacher. I'm Nikki D, the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D, the race car driver.
Nikki D, Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
Back at City Stadium in Richmond, Virginia, John Emmett along with Mike Neville. Tonight the Kickers, again, dominate possession, but fail to find end product and find more new and unusual ways to give up goals in a tough loss to Ottawa. It's a huge 3 points for the Fury that, at least temporarily, moves them into the playoffs. We talked about Carl Howarth before the game, and he was the guy that did the damage. First, the own goal on the cross.
Yeah, great overlap, and then the cross, and unfortunately it's an own goal, and right, just like that, Ottawa was up 1-0, just about 10 minutes in, right, John?
Yep, and then later in the first half, Howarth with the Olympico. He puts the corner kick into the net, his third goal of the season, and that was all of the scoring tonight. Barnes thought he was fouled.
Yep.
The officials did not agree with that assessment. And Carl Howarth, the veteran captain for the Ottawa Fury in a game his side really needed, did all the damage.
Yeah, second half, Ottawa was pretty content just to knock the ball around, but they did have a few chances. That one right there just missed wide. I believe it was Edwards on that shot. And then Imura with a nice into the middle, and Raul Gonzalez just missed, nudging that one in the back of the net. And then Reed, we thought at first Reed just plain blew it, but Barnes came off his line nicely and was able to get a piece of that. And then nice cross, but again, well played by Ottawa. And of course, Reed and Crapo, the goalkeeper, he picks up another save.
A clean sheet in. He's rescuing people, but with Reed kind of limping off there, that is a concern because Ottawa is a little beat up. They had 4 players out tonight with varying degrees of injuries.
Another opportunity there that just failed to hook up, but we mentioned that Richmond has had troubles finding the back of the net, and as you mentioned, second straight home game, they've been shut out, and Ottawa wins it. First time since July that Ottawa has put together back-to-back wins. They won in Toronto 4-3 before heading here to Richmond, and now they pick up a 2-0 win, and really more importantly, as you mentioned, John, a huge 3 points for the Fury tonight.
A big boost to their playoff hopes. Richmond now goes on the road as they will tangle with Tampa Bay next Saturday. Ottawa continues their road trip at defending champion Louisville next Saturday. And the Kickers back at City Stadium the 26th of September, a midweek home game against league leader FC Cincinnati. Our thanks to Mike Voyak and our Richmond-based crew tonight. For Mike Neville, I'm John Emmett. Appreciate you joining us as well. Our final score again, Ottawa 2, Kickers 0. Good night from Richmond.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.